Welcome everyone, it's Lexan TV, and on the show today I get to reconnect and catch up with Canadian-born actor Brandon J. McLaren. Brandon, of course, has family roots here in Grenada, and of course it's always fun to chat with a fellow Grenadian. Brandon has been up to some great new projects, of course that has been put on hold due to the pandemic, but needless to say, we had a fun time chatting about what's in store for the future. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Hi.
Welcome to Lexan TV.
How are you?
Everything good?
Everything is all right. Yeah, hanging in there, trying to ride this out.
Yeah, it's something else, right? It's something that you've only and this you being an actor. I mean,
Yeah.
you only think you'll see this in the movies. You know what I mean?
And I think the funny thing is everything changed so quickly. Like it went from we're normal, and a week later, masks, and I'm walking down the street and I'm avoiding people like this. It's like, how did we get here so quickly? So I think that's kind of for me been the hardest thing to wrap my head around.
It's really crazy. How would you say this pandemic has really affected you, a creative, in the entertainment industry and acting and that sort of thing?
That's a great question. I'm kind of a person who always likes to be working on different things at one time anyway. So this really has sort of allowed me to focus on like the development side. And so in fact, I have 2 projects in development. So I've been really starting to curate my writer producer side,
Ooh.
which has been really, really cool. So yeah, I can't talk about them yet, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, they'll be the news will be out in public. So I've been really able to lean in to that side because, obviously Hollywood is shut down.
Yeah.
Or it had shut down completely. I think some films destinations are starting to shoot again.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's when these kind of things happen, you try to extract some kind of positive out of it, or else you'll go mad.
Oh my goodness, talking about mad, it's just
Yeah.
It's really crazy. But for me, I always like to look at, okay, we have a big bad situation here.
Yeah.
Let me pull the good. You just spoke about you getting to tap into another part of you that you wanted to get involved in for so long, I'm sure. And hey, it gave me the opportunity to just get some time to interview you from home. So, we have to keep pushing. We really have to keep pushing, and we have to stay positive. For folks watching Lexan TV now, Brandon has Grenadian roots, like I mentioned in my intro.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon, can you reflect a little bit about when you first started visiting as a youth?
Well, I mean, I feel like, when the invasion happened, right? My grandparents actually left Grenada during that time, and they came to spend some time with us in Canada. And I was that 80? What was it? 83? So I was 3-4 years old. Yeah, it was 83. So I kind of have these like early memories of my grandfather and I, who they're both born and raised in Carriacou. And then they left, and I didn't see them for about 5 or 6 years. And I remember the first time I came to Grenada, I think it was the first Rainbow City in Grenville.
Okay.
So what was that, 87 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so, and I have all these, seeing my first jab and crying when somebody comes up on me with a snake and kind of being like, what is this whole world? And then sort of trying to put the pieces together, and sort of, construct sort of like a narrative of like my family there and my roots there. And so that's really been an important part of my life. And even in terms of the things that I'm developing now, it's really important for me to have that element in there because, I really believe like, my mom's from Trinidad as well. And our culture is so great, right? But we have more to offer than just jump up on carnival and, you know what I mean? And so I really want to sort of lean into the more sort of nuanced, hardworking, persevering side of our culture, and kind of, for me anyway, and get away from the all we do is party and fet and lime. Like because yeah, I think that part is also an important story that doesn't get told.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So with you on that. And let me tell you, the minute you put your press release out, just shoot it to me because I the update. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So let's get a little bit into your career now as an actor. And I've always wondered, especially with actors in particular, would you say there's any character that you played that is very much similar to you?
No, I feel like every character I played has parts of me there, and those parts are maybe just exaggerated. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah, so every character I try to be like, okay, well, how am I similar to this character? And then let me just make that version an exaggerated version for this part.
Right.
And also, like, I believe we all have parts of us so in our personality. You know, I can be goofy and funny, but I can also be very serious and maybe a little grumpy. So you know what I mean? So you just find that part and you lean into that part. So yeah.
Okay, so if you had to reprise a role, because you've done a Power Ranger, you've done a techie.
Yeah, I put an FBI agent in Graceland.
And I'm sure there's a lot of people who didn't even realize you are actually in
Amanda Bynes, the football film.
Bynes. All I know is I remember you playing football.
Yeah.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Right. So if you had to reprise a role, if you had to bring back, if there was this one character that had to come back that you had to just fall in love all over again with, which character would that be?
Oh, it would definitely be Dale Jakes from Graceland. You know, I really still believe that we got canceled too early. The finale was such a it was such a cliffhanger. And it's funny because me and those cast members, we talk all the time, and all of us are like, man, we should get the band back together and at least do one more season so that we can finish telling the story of these characters, because I think we were just sort of starting to hit our groove. And that's the thing with these things, like it's out of your control, right?
No.
Yeah. So you got to make peace with it somehow. Yeah. But it took me about a year. I was so heartbroken. It took me about a year to get over that one, because certain characters, you know, they grab a hold of you and you kind of feel like you're in your zone. And so that would be the one for sure.
Yeah, nice. And you know, the entertainment industry in the US, North America, you know, the numbers are not there and the ratings not there. You know what's gonna happen. And I think a lot of people just, you know, why did this happen? Why did that happen? But it's economics. It's a lot more than what we just see, you know?
That's the thing, you know, like as an artist, you know, you feel so much with your heart, but like, you know, television and film is when like art meets commerce, you know? Yeah. And sometimes they mash up a little bit. They don't necessarily go together.
Yeah. So tell me, would you say you have an absolute favorite movie of all time? That's a tough question, because if somebody were to ask me that, I don't know if I have just one. But do you have one?
I have a favorite. So I think it's Teen Wolf, Michael J.
Really?
I think that movie just makes me feel some kind of way. I don't know why. Every time I watch it, I remember seeing it for the first time as a kid and loving it. And even if it's on TV, I'll have to stop everything and just watch it. I know, like, that's not like the you know, like the actor's answer.
Yeah.
But hey, if I had one movie that's on an island with me and only one, Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf. Wow. Yeah,
it's a good movie. You should rewatch it. It's good.
I should rewatch it.
And also, there's actually some real, like, sort of smart social commentary on there. Like, if you dig one layer deeper, they kind of slip in a lot of social commentary that's actually kind of relevant today.
I'll look at it. I'll look it up. You know what I mean? So I'll probably check it out. I'll probably check it out again. So moving on with another interesting question I'd like to ask you, in terms of, this is a fun one actually. If you had to play a superhero, what would you choose?
You know, I'm not really big into the superhero genre. which is oddly enough, yeah, I don't really dig it. But if I had to choose, I think it probably would be Batman.
Really?
Yeah, but I would rename it Batman. How about that?
Say that again?
I'd rename it Batman instead.
Hey. Well, you know. You don't know.
I should create a new superhero called Batman instead of Batman. There you go.
Batman from the hood.
Yeah. That's it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I know you have to be a bit tight-lipped and you're not at liberty to discuss future projects. But if there's any that you can discuss right now, tell me what's in the woodworks. I know I've spotted something. I've spotted Twilight Zone.
So I have a show that I did a couple months ago. I just finished called Firefly Lane. Yeah. And that's gonna come out on Netflix, I believe, maybe like late summer. It's based on a New York Times best-selling book about these two women, and it follows their friendship over the span of 30 years. Right. So it's really, really interesting. Yeah, you can pick up the novel if you want to give it a read before you start to watch the show. And then, yeah, I have I started an episode of Twilight Zone along with Joe McHale. Jordan Peele is the executive producer of that show, and he's a king. And so all those episodes will be released June 25th. So it's on CBS All Access. So it's the CBS's online platform. So you have to, I think, either get an account or I think you can buy the episodes separately.
So you're walking into a building.
Yeah.
And your music comes on.
Yeah.
What song would be your theme song, Brandon J. McLaren?
Just any music?
Any music. It simply says, Brandon is here.
Man.
Yep, I gotcha.
Man, like, Son, you had to give me these questions in advance, man. Shucks. I recently kind of started to rediscover some old music that me and my dad used to listen to. And I remember, because my dad plays guitar actually quite well. And there's an old Bunny Wailer song called I'm the Toughest.
Hey, that's about you.
Know that one?
Yeah, man.
And I just started to listen to it. I found it again like 2 weeks ago, actually. And I think that would be the one.
Anything
that you can do, I can do.
Because I'm the toughest.
Yeah. I think it might be that one.
Hey, that's a wicked song.
That's like a theme song, you know what I mean?
Hey, and you're in your suit and everything, eh?
Yeah.
And that song, epic, epic. I know there's lots of creatives on the island, Brandon, who are passionate about filmmaking and creating their own. Any sort of advice, and even the younger ones who want to get into acting.
Yeah.
Any little bit of advice that you can give?
I think I would say to anybody who wants to get into this type of business, you know what I mean, where it's not necessarily like you can't measure it empirically. Like there's no sort of like, it's not a linear type of business, and I'm sure you understand this as well acutely. Like you have to just work so hard for results that you cannot control. Yeah. And a lot of people, it's hard for them to wrap their head around. So it's really just a leap of faith coupled with just busting your tail and making sure that you do that any little bit of extra. There's a lot of unpaid hours. There's a lot of things that you work on that nobody will ever see, you know? True. And so you just got to trust in that. And those are the people that I've noticed over time in my career, who the ones who not only make it, but they're able to sustain a level of success.
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. Good stuff. What are you listening to now, Brandon? Apart from I'm the Toughest, Bunny Wailer.
What am I listening to right now? Well, actually, so me and my brother also make music. Yeah, so we sold one of our songs to my show Ransom. So that played in episode 10. Yeah. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Yeah. And and we made a song with my dad that we're trying to get licensed. So you know that song "Don't Have," that Grenadian calypso. I don't have. Dennis is a friend of mine. So we're gonna try to remix that. So actually, I've been listening to that song specifically lately because him and I are gonna try to remix that and release it soon. So.
Oh my goodness, Brandon! I'm excited. You have me excited here. Oh my.
Hey, I do everything, man.
Because you're like, you know that song, you have. Oh my.
Yeah.
Yo, but you start to sing it, and it's like,
yeah.
It's literally an anthem.
Yeah. So and Dennis Mason is he's a friend of mine. He was actually part of the marathon that we ran in Grenada for the Reach Within.
Dennis.
That's his song.
That's my boy. That is Dennis. You're kidding.
Yeah, that's Dennis.
Dennis is
correct. Yeah, so him and I are trying to collaborate and do a remix of that. So I've been listening to that a lot lately.
That's good. That's good. Brandon, I mean, when you were growing up, did you ever think for a minute that you were going to become an actor? You know, when we're little kids, we always want to be this, we want to be that.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of, it changes. There's a major shift, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, I never, it's such a weird thing because it's not something that people, like, you don't understand how the business works until you're in the business, right? And you don't get taught it in school. And even if you're taking theater or drama in school, like, there's no sort of professional training. It's like of how to get a job, how to get this, how to get an agent, so no, I never really thought of it in that way. I just knew that I really loved it. And I knew that it's something that when I worked at it, it didn't feel like work. And then you kind of learn as you go, you know what I mean? It wasn't predictable at all.
Yeah. I know we're getting close to wrap up. This is really a nice, short, exciting interview here. But in terms of an iconic figure, if you got the opportunity to play someone, and why?
To play someone?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great question. That hasn't been done already?
I'll leave that up to you. It could have been done. I mean, there are many people we've seen many people play Mandela before. So
yeah, I mean, I remember I read the autobiography of Malcolm X when I was 12 years old, which was kind of lofty reading for a 12-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And his grandmother's Grenadian as well, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And I think what struck me even at 12 was that, and there's a lot of people they don't know about Malcolm X. Like he was so he sort of dug deep so hard in his beliefs, but at the end of his life, he actually managed to kind of change his beliefs a little bit, which I feel like is the hardest and most important thing as an adult, right? No matter what you believe, always leave room for you to learn and change your mind. And there's no shame in that. In fact, I feel like that's like the true test of a man or a woman is their ability to, with more information, be able to change and admit when maybe, hey, I was wrong about this in the past. And there's no shame in that. And so maybe it might be him, but Denzel already did that very well. So
he did, right? But hey, you never know. Yeah.
Remake.
Reboot, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you think there's some movies that were remade or they had a remake to it, and they didn't do well?
Yeah.
So, from your perspective, do you think that there's certain classics that just should not
be left alone,
be touched?
Boy, yeah, like something like Back to the Future, like don't remake that.
Yeah.
Just leave that there because it stands up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they'll probably ruin it with all the special, like that's like a perfect film for me. Yeah. Just leave it.
Yeah.
What's
next for you? I mean, let's talk about this pandemic, man. It is really, it's hit everyone, a really tough blow. Near, far, rich, poor, black, white, Where do you see yourself after this whole thing has settled? I mean, I know you want to get back with your projects and everything like that, but do you think it's really going to take a longer period?
Well, I mean, I feel like it's so like country to country, right? Everybody's experiencing this in such a different way. Like I know in Vancouver, where my parents live now in Canada, filming has started already.
Right.
So they have started some filming, with these safety practices in place. I just actually booked a film that's going to be shooting in Toronto in October, which I'll be one of the leads in. So hopefully, like, there's not a second wave and that gets pushed. Every time I think I know something, I realize like information is changing so quickly. So who knows, right? So I think everybody's just trying to proceed with best intentions and hope for the best and hope that everybody does what they can to get things back to normal. I guess until we have like some kind of vaccine or treatment, you know what I mean?
You never know.
Yeah.
We just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But entertainment is key because
you find out how important it is in our lives, right? When everybody's stuck at home, this is it's an important space that we are in. Yep.
It is. Where would you like to see entertainment going? I mean, I'm still trying not to get too political here, but there's so much being swayed now because, there's a shout and a cry that things has to change. But I don't know, the changes, are we ready for changes?
I mean, I think at any point in history, if you look back, whenever there's massive change, there's always a massive pushback, and then the change can happen, right? And I think that's what we're seeing again, right? There's like a massive shift going on, and if it wasn't so massive, there wouldn't be that pushback. But once you you clear that first hurdle, then the change can really start to happen. It's kind of like when you first start to exercise. If you haven't exercised in a while, that first 2 weeks, your body's like, no. And then after it gets over it, then you can improve. You know what I mean? In a weird way.
True.
And so I think that's what we're seeing right now. And in the meantime, a lot of bad things have to happen.
Before it gets better.
And then we roll over into the good.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a crazy time to be alive. But I do believe that we'll get past it, and hopefully, all this won't be in vain.
Yeah. We're just hoping and praying, and we just have to stay positive.
Yep, that's all we can do.
Brandon, is there anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up? I mean,
no, that's it. Just everybody stay safe and strong. Hopefully in the next couple months things will get back to normal, and hopefully I'll be in Grenada very soon.
Woo! Adoha.
Yeah, you'll see me there with that. Yeah.
Wonderful, but please do keep me posted on your, on your projects, and I would love to share them on the platform as well.
Beautiful.
And stay safe. And thank you so much for making time for me. I know it was a little tricky connecting, but better late than never.
Next time, always good to talk to you. Stay safe. Say hi to your family for me.
I will. Take good care.
All right. Bye.
Welcome back. That was my interview with Brandon J. McLaren. Hey, don't forget, every week you can check out a new interview right here on Lexan TV. And of course, don't forget, if you'd like to see someone featured right here, just say the word. Until then, stay tuned to all the exciting things happening and coming your way every week. And remember, Lexan TV is all about life. Take care. Bye-bye.